is birdie or die golf more entertaining from a fan's perspective?
Yeah.
Or less?
This is a very tricky conversation. They have this in ball golf a lot too, because every year the U.S. Open for them is like the one that the USGA tries to make the course so hard, and there's the line between, because they want guys to finish around par for that to win.
Yeah.
And that used to be like doable, but now it seems that guys have gotten too good, the equipment's gotten too good, and now they have to make the course so hard that the players just get super mad.
Yeah.
And it's like, now we got to find that line in disc golf. Where do we want winners to be finishing at? Do we want these guys to be shooting, 10 under par is a good round, or do we want 3 under par to be a good round? And then if you're saying, well, yeah, I'd rather have guys closer to par, well, how do we accomplish that without making the course just stupid difficult to the point where the players are just not having fun?
The players are frustrated, yeah.
And because in my mind, I've always been a guy who's like, I want to see guys struggle to shoot par. Like, I think that's like the name of golf, is like, you got to shoot par.
Yeah.
There's something electrifying about shooting 18 down or whatever. Like, sure. But I don't know. I think too, I don't mind. I want to see a tour where there's a mix, right? You've got events where guys are going to shoot low, and then you got events where guys are going to be struggling. But this one was too low for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to see birdie or die ever.
Well, I think,
I don't think.
I think what you were saying is right. Like, we talked about his par 2 soft in disc golf like a few weeks ago and stuff like that. And I think there is that line of like, where do we want disc golf to be? But with this event and with other events where it is like, I think the Memorial is somewhere in this category as well. When it becomes too easy for the touring pros, when the course becomes too easy, it removes the separation.
Well, yeah.
So therefore, like, if we look at the top 10 on the MPO side, 10th place was Anthony Barella at 34 under. So he was only 7 strokes out of it after 3 rounds. 10th place.
Yeah.
To get like more than 10 strokes out of it, you got to go to like 15th place. And so what that kind of does is basically what that shows is players can mess up and still birdie. Yeah. And so therefore, like, it's not that you don't. It's harder for the best players to separate themselves from the field.
Yeah, because it is exciting to an extent to be like, okay, we're going into hole 18. We got 3 people tied at first. Like, that's fun to watch. But it's fun to watch on the 18th hole, and it kind of robs those, like you said, those good players of having a chance to separate themselves.
That's what's tough is, like, from a fan's perspective, that was a ton of fun to like step up. And the 18th hole, you had Simon, Calvin, and Nico all tied at, was it 39 under?
It was 39.
Yeah, and so they were actually tied with Emerson Keith, who finished in 4th. They were all tied, 4-way tie at 39th. But Emerson was already in the clubhouse at 39. So basically, they just had to birdie this hole. So then you see they're all going for the eagle.
Yeah.
Simon and Calvin, Simon's disc got slapped by the wind straight down.
Calvin threw a good drive.
Calvin did, yeah, but he couldn't convert on the eagle.
Yeah.
And Nico ends up converting on the eagle with a great shot. And it was, one of those like big time moments of like, whoa, that was sick. But at what cost? Because like what did we sacrifice there? And because I think the whole issue was there were times where like you could throw a roller, end up off the fairway, way off the fairway, but there's no penalty for that.
Yeah.
You're not even struggling. You're still, most of the time, you're throwing the roller, hoping to get a look at eagle, and then you're still going to have a tap-in birdie.
Yeah. And you want to talk about soft par? Like, let's take 18 there, a hole that it seems like all of our good arms are getting to in 2 with decent success. Let's make it a par 4.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with that?
Well, I think the tough part, too, about this conversation is par is obviously relative, or like basically it's irrelevant, because if we change all the pars in this course, the scores don't change. You know what I mean? So yes, Nico might have won at 10 under, but the separation would have been the same. You know what I mean? So I think that's where the par kind of falls apart when you really break it down to like this level of the easiness of a course. Because you can turn easy par 4s into hard par 3s, but does that change people's mindsets enough that now the separation grows? Probably not. I think what you have to do on a course like this is, instead of changing the par per se, you would have to add more OB or make the course longer or just not play it as a Pro Tour event. One of those 3s needs to happen.
Yeah.
But because if you add some OB, which that's what the Memorial has always done, is there's that OB so that, yes, you can shoot 17, 16, 15 under, but you can also shoot way over par.
Yeah.
And that's where the separation comes in, because that allows the top players to consistently be putting drives in the fairway, where, if you want to get aggressive, now you're risking going OB versus why the heck wouldn't I get aggressive? There's no risk.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the tough part. But the birdie or die in general in disc golf, I think, doesn't really have a place.